Hello everyone, I hope everything is going well with you. This is a session 4 in series of Project Management 101, and in this video I'm going to discuss about a very important topic in project management, and that is update the project. Basically I want to say update the project. Let me complete it here. Update the project schedule plan. Okay, I want to discuss about this point. So far what we did was, let me zoom out. Okay, what we did was in session 1 we discussed about the scoping, WBS, how you can identify tasks. Then in session 2 we discussed about the concept of identifying the required resource and estimating work for your project and providing the initial project plan. And then on session 3 we discussed about how important it is to have additional plans to enhance your initial project schedule and make it more accurate, increase the accuracy, and basically make it a better plan, more reliable plan. Okay, now let's assume that you already covered these points. If we assume that you want to run a project for yourself, by session 1 you manage to clarify your scope, identify tasks, then you identified your required resource, provide the basic plan, then you applied different plans from different knowledge areas, or according to PMBOK version 5 you provide plans from different domains, and you improved your initial project plan, increase your accuracy, and now you have a very reliable plan, and you believe that you can follow your plan, and your plan is very accurate. Let's assume that you reach to this point on your project. Now in this session, as I said, I want to discuss about updating, and I want to explain you why it's very important. Update the project schedule and increase. Okay. Now let me draw a beautiful Okay. Let me use some of this. Let's say how can I change the, this is for the text, maybe, no, maybe may use this one, make it blue, right, similar to for example Microsoft project and Gantt chart. Okay, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Let me add more of this, increase the size. Okay, I need some more space here, and this. Okay, let's say, let me move it here a little bit. Let's say this was your plan. Okay, this was your plan. This is your Gantt chart. If you remember, I created a simple project schedule plan inside of the Microsoft project. The picture is here. Imagine this is your plan. Okay, now I want to discuss about very important concepts. This is task 1. Let's say this is task 1, task 2, right? Let me use this. Task 1, increase the size a little bit, right? Should be fine. Then I have task 2, task 3, task 4. Okay, task 2, task 3, and task 4. Okay, I think our setup is ready. Now remember, when you finalize your plan, each of these tasks at the end of your planning, before you jump into execution of your project, before you start the project, there is a very important concept, and in project management we call it baseline or target. Okay, normally in project management softwares we call it baseline. What we need to do at this step is to get a baseline, and this baseline is basically a snapshot for your planning, a snapshot that you are not going to change. And what happened is, when you get the snapshot, basically it's an, let me change the color to gray. Okay, and for this one, and for this one, and for this one. Let's say the planning phase is completed. Now you take the baseline. Okay, let me put as step 1, get baseline. When you get the baseline, it means your plan is approved, your plan is ready, your team is ready to start the execution of the project, and you must follow the plan, right? But before starting the work, you need to get the baseline. Why you need to get the baseline? Because when actual work starts, you need something that you can compare the actual work with that one, and basically calculate the variance in your project. Okay, that's why we call it baseline. The thing that you are going to compare the actual and current situation with it is actually the baseline. So the baseline is just an image, a snapshot. Okay, you get it, and when you are working on your project, you compare it with the baseline. Let me give you a house. Let me Google something. Not TV series. Let's say this one. This one is no, this one. The other one is better. Okay. I want to explain you the concept of the baseline. Okay, this is nice. Now back here, let me move a little bit here. Okay, let's say this is a baseline for your project. This is your plan. You want to create a house like this, right? Then what happened in project execution? For example, let me pick this one. Yes, and project execution start, and after, for example, few months, you will see that the house your team is trying to create is like Let me pick a bigger one, maybe change the color. Okay, that's better. Now is like this. Okay, okay. Okay, so this is baseline. This is baseline, and this is the current progress, the actual progress or current progress for your project. What you need to do here is to compare these two, okay? Because this one was your initial plan. This was your initial plan, your target, your baseline for delivery. But now, after 2 months, 3 months, your delivery in your project is like this. And these two, you need to say if are these two same or not. Definitely not, right? And you can see these two are not same. The design is different, right? So if you want to identify these differences, if you want to do the comparison, you need to have the baseline. That's the main concept of getting baseline in your project. Your baseline is a base for calculating the variance in your project. Okay, so I hope you get it. And when you take for example, in Microsoft project, when you get the baseline, if you go to the tracking gun, you will see the gray bar under the main bar. Okay, and this one is basically the current plan. Okay, the current plan for your project. Remember, it's current plan. I will try to explain it more because this concept is very important, very important for you to understand. Okay, but now look at this. Look at this bar. You have one bar, as I said. This one is current, right? I mentioned, let me put it here, current. Let me change the color, maybe to blue, right? It's better. Change this one is also, this is current, right? And this one is baseline. Right, and this one is baseline. But what important point here is what information is available. This representation of the Gantt chart, what information is showing to you? It has the start. Look, this is time, right? This is time. Okay. And for example, this, let's say this is the start of the project, okay, and maybe day 1, right? So it's a date, right? The start date. Let me mention here the information available here. Okay, one is start date. Let me change this to blue. Okay, reduce, increase it a little bit. Okay, a start date. What else we have here? We have finish date, right? A start date here, finish date is also here. Then we have duration, how long it will take this start to finish, how long it will take, the duration, right? What else do we have here? This task also, for example, if you assign the resource, has a cost, right? So cost also is part of this, the information related to this task. Okay, then if you want to know work, total work required to handle the task, if you assign work resource to the task, work also is kind of information that available for this task, right? These information are for the current, right? Same information also is available for baseline. Okay, exactly same information is also available for baseline. Current, baseline. Let me change the color. Okay, so let me put it with example, maybe it will help you to understand it better. Let's say 1st November, let's say 10 November, let's say 8 days. Remember, 8 working days. Cost, let's say $1,000, right? Work, let's say 20 hours. Okay, these are information available for current. When you take the baseline, basically same information also will be available for the baseline. Exact same, as I said, exact same, but the main difference is this information on baseline is not going to change. Well, technically you can change, but the idea is you do not change it till you get the rebaseline, and till that moment your reference will be this one to evaluate your project and calculate the current. Okay, so this is a current, this is a baseline information. Once you capture the baseline, basically the step 1 was get the baseline. When you store the baseline, what happened is all this information for current status of your each task, and your project is stored in the somewhere in the software. If you use a software, if you don't use a software, you need to store somewhere as a base. So you will have baseline and you have the current. At the beginning of the project, these two are same, exactly same, because nothing happened, nothing changed. Okay. Now what happened next? So you get the baseline. Step 2 is how can I say it? Execution. I mean the project actually start. Okay, let's assume that, can I draw a line? Yes, and let's say now our current date is here. Make it stronger. Type is fine, but what is this? Change the color to red. I want to make it thicker. Line type. So what is the difference? Oh, okay, that's the max. Okay, it's fine. Let's say this is the current date, and by current date, let's assume this one is the first. As I said, the start date was the first. I forgot to mention. Sorry, guys. Not only a start and finish. We also. No, I mentioned the finish. Yeah, that's it. The first date. My bad. Sorry. So here is 1st November. Okay. The project is start date. Here is, let's assume, finish date was 10, right? So here should be 10. Let's say this here, now we are 7. Here is 7th of November. Okay. 7th November, 1st November. Okay. Now what happened? Look at the Gantt chart. Focus on the concept, right? What happened? We supposed to start 1st of the November, and now actually really is 7th of November. What a project manager needs to do, project manager needs to know what exactly happened in this week. What exactly happened in this week? Because this task 1, is supposed to start on day 1, right? So project manager needs to get information like, is this task started on day 1? You may get a report that no, sorry, because of blah 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 and other reason we couldn't start this task on day 1, and this task started on day 3. So what happened here is logically the project manager should update the task and say, okay, this task didn't start on day 1 and it started on day 3. So logically, when you shift the start date for 2 days, then the end of your task also shift for 2 days. And maybe this task had a connection with task 2, and because of this one, project manager needs to shift task 2 also for later on. Let's say here. Right? So by this information that your project manager receive and apply it in the project, not only you include and import the actual information of what exactly happened, you also need to plan for the remaining work. Now back to task 1. Just starting the task on day 3 is not enough information. You need to know what happened next. Have we worked as per the plan without any issue? They may come to you and say, yes, after we had a delay at the beginning for 2 days, then everything was smooth and we managed to work as per plan, and but we expect that we need more time to finish the project. And then you say, oh, so it means the 8 days is not enough. They say, yes, we need to increase our expectation is that we can finish it in 10 days. So it means you need to increase the duration of project to 10 days. Like this. Okay? And now if you these 2 days is extra compared to what you had initially. This is 10 days. No, sorry, 8 days. The duration originally was 8 days, but after working on week 1, based on the progress, based on the more information you get, now the estimation of team is these tasks require 2 extra days to complete. So you also need to update this one, and by this update it will impact on again on task 2, and you have to update task 2 and move this one again. Okay, so now look at this information. Baseline remain as it is, right? This is for task 1. This is for task 1. Task 1. But now you have the current is changed. The current is not same, and you have the actual data. Now the current start date is not 1st of November, it's 3rd, right? It changed. Now the finish date is not 10, it's 12, for example. Now the duration is not 8 days, it's 10 days. Now, for example, let's say for cost also, you assume you think the cost will increase because of those 2 extra days. The cost now is 1,200, right? And the work required to handle the task is not 20 hours, it's maybe 30 hours. This is the current that changed because of your updating, because you reflected what actually happened during the week for this task, and also you planned for remaining work for the rest. And normally here you will have maybe a progress bar. Let me create the small one, change the color to black and put it here. Okay, so it means you have actual start, actual duration here, you have progress till this point, and this is your plan. So basically, whenever you say the current in the project planning, the current is always actual plus remaining. This is also an important concept. The current is always actual plus remaining. At the beginning of the project, in this example, your actual was 0 and your remaining was equal to current. But now it's different. Now let's say now let me expand it here. How can I? Okay. So, for example, for the duration, the initial was 8 equal to, right? It was 8 days, right? The actual was 0 at the beginning, and the remaining was the remaining was 8 days. Okay, but now after you updated your project, your current increase to 10 days, right? 10 days, and it was 3 days, right? Just an example, 3 days plus 7 days remaining work. Okay, and when you compare these two, because these 8 days is available in baseline, when you compare the current and baseline, you will see you have 2 days variance, right? 2 days variance, and and these 2 days variance is also unfinished. It's finished variance. You remember, we don't have a single variance. When you talk about the variance, you need to say variance for what? Variance for the start, variance for finished. For example, in our example, a start variance is only 2, but finish variance is 2 plus 2, 4 days. Okay, so I hope you got the idea of whenever the current is always same at the beginning, before you start the work and before you input the actual data. The current is always equal to remaining, because there is no actual data, and at the end of work, when the work is completed, the current is equal to actual, because there is no remaining work, right? But keep it in your mind that the current situation on your project planning is always equal to actual plus remaining, and it's a very important concept, because when you want to update your project plan, what you need to do is basically you need to reflect the actual data of what happened in your project, and also you need to get confirmation. You need to double check if what is going to happen for the remaining work. For example, remaining work is going to happen as per the plan, or remaining work is going to change. So I hope you get this idea, the concept, execution, and updating. Now, when we can say our project plan is updated by just looking at the count, if you look at this one, let's say this is the current date, I can only say my project is updated properly if on the left side here I only see actual data and on the right side I only see plan. This is a very important concept, and you need to understand it. When you update your project plan, on the left side you only have the actual data. For example, look at this one. It's still its plan, right? It's still its plan. It doesn't have any progress. You didn't update anything, and basically it is saying, let's say we are actually on 7th of November, right? This plan is saying on 7th of November, this plan is saying, okay, I have a task 3 that I'm going to start it on 1st of November, but you are at the moment on 7th of November. It's not possible to travel in time, move back, and start the task 3, right? So the important question here is, we all know it's impossible to start task 3 on the 1st of November, but when the important question here is, when exactly you want to start it, when exactly you can start it. It can start definitely after the 7th of November, but when. The person who is responsible for this task should identify and clarify when they can start, and only then you can update your project plan, and also you will see the reflect of this on your project. Let's say the person responsible for this task is coming to you and say, okay, this task we cannot start it here and we need to start it here. Okay, and because of this, task 4 also shift here. Now you know that you cannot also start task 4 at this time, and when you do this, all this information also updated for all these tasks, and you can compare the baseline because you already have the baseline and you see the variance for your project. And when you reach to this point, when after updating, when you reach to this state that every information on the left side is actual data and all the information on the right side is plan, then you can say, okay, I updated the plan correctly, or at least you can say your plan is reflecting the current status of your project. Okay, but remember, for example, adding 2 days here, shifting, delaying task for task 2 or delaying task 4, it's not simple. It's not simple that this delay happen and you just make the delay. There, in a real project, you may have some restriction, dependencies, force from management, deadlines, and you need to find this. You may need to find a solution to recover these delays. Okay, and you can only do that when you anticipate this, and you can anticipate this if you update your project plan properly, because by this updating now you have your, remember, current, the discussion about the current, your current plan changed now. Your current plan changed. It's different now. Your current plan used to be like these gray colors, right? But now, after updating your project, your current plan is these blues. It's changed. But important point here is, now your current plan is a representative for a status of your project. And it's very, very important. It's a very, very important concept that your project schedule plan should be, must be a representative for a status of your project. If you open your schedule plan, you should be able to understand the current status of plan based on the day you update it, right? But if you open the schedule plan and you will see, for example, it's not updated, it means that project plan is not valid anymore. Maybe it was valid at the beginning of the project, very detailed, clean, and accurate, reliable, but after 1 week, 2 weeks, you didn't update your project plan, and it means that plan is not reliable anymore. Updating concept is very important, even more than planning itself. It's kind of part of planning, because planning is not, you cannot stop the planning at one point. Planning is a continuous improvement for your plan. Okay. I hope you get the concept of updating. Remember, I don't want to go in technical discussion. In these videos, I just wanted emphasize the basic concepts. and basic fundamental concept for project management. But if you really want to know, have more detail, especially using the software, you can check my videos on YouTube. And I think I covered all the points that I wanted to discuss for this session. Let me draw a line. Okay, this was session 4, right? This was our session 4, and okay, if you have a question, ask me. I will try to answer your questions, but I think I covered most of the important concept that I wanted to tell you, and these are very fundamental. You may find it very easy, but these are very fundamental and very important. If these points, if you don't get these points properly, you may make mistakes at higher levels. So I think I covered all the points that I wanted to share in this topic. And next video I think I'm going to discuss about the earned value, because we discussed about the updating. Now I think it's time I go for the earned value. It's a little bit technical, require basic mathematics, but from my point of view, it's an amazing topic in project management. So I think so far so good. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have a question, put it on the comments, and have a good time.